Researchers set up trail cams with the simple hope of capturing the habits of elusive, nocturnal leopards. But the memory card they retrieved held a living nightmare that would send shivers down anyone's spine. A colossal creature, towering 9 feet tall with a hunched, primal posture, suddenly bursts into the frame and roars directly into the lens with unbridled fury. This was no accidental encounter. It seemed to know exactly where the carefully camouflaged camera was hidden. If creatures like this truly exist, if their senses are so acute they can detect even infrared technology, then how many times have we walked through the woods, being watched from the shadows without ever knowing it? And what provoked this reclusive giant, forcing it to step out of the darkness to deliver such a steely warning? Right now, join me as we break down that soul-piercing gaze in this earth-shattering footage. The mystery of the Lost Brothers' anatomy. The footage is shaky, filmed covertly from a distance, revealing a desolate area under strict lockdown. Figures in full-body biohazard suits move with urgent purpose, surrounded by heavily armed police forces standing guard. But the center of attention lies in the middle of the cordon, a massive, motionless corpse. The creature appears to have been dead for some time. Decomposition is well underway. Patches of skin and fur have sloughed off, exposing stark white bones and a massive, rotting rib cage. What makes this footage truly haunting is not the death itself, but the preliminary scan results attached to the leaked file. The skeletal structure, and specifically the teeth, of this creature shares a 98% similarity with the modern humans. They are not sharp like a predator's, but flat and arranged exactly like ours, differing only in their colossal size. Skeptics argue this is merely a prop from an abandoned horror movie. But if it were just a prop, why the need for biohazard suits and armed police? Is this video real? And if so, are we looking at the body of a forgotten sibling branch in the human family tree? A species of giant Neanderthals that has existed alongside us to this day. Look at those bones and leave your thoughts below. The king, slumbering beneath the Antarctic ice. Antarctica has always been considered a dead land, ruled only by ice and freezing winds. But that assumption is being violently shaken by shocking leaked footage, allegedly recorded at a secret excavation site near the South Pole. Amidst the blinding whiteness of the glacial continent, a giant creature lies motionless. Unlike the Bigfoot of the dense forests, this creature, perhaps what we might call a yeti, possesses a coat of thick, long white fur, allowing it to blend perfectly into its surroundings. Its sheer size is truly overwhelming compared to the humans standing nearby. The scene resembles a high-level criminal investigation. Yellow caution tape cordons off the creature, separating it from the crowd. Dozens of people, appearing to be researchers and photographers, are snapping photos incessantly, trying to document every detail of the sleeping giant, or dead giant, on the cold snow. However, the perfection of the footage is its very weakness. Skeptics argue fiercely that this is a staged production, a Hollywood prop left behind. Their argument is sharp. If Antarctica is truly home to these giants, why has there never been an official report or trace announced after thousands of expeditions? Its sudden and clear appearance seems too absurd. But look at the detail of the fur and the way the snow clings to its body. What do you think? Is this a sophisticated hoax, or evidence that climate change and melting ice are awakening ancient beasts buried for millions of years? Leave your thoughts below. Bigfoot versus giant elk, a hand-to-hand duel. We often hear that the moose is the king of the northern forest, with an aggressive temperament and deadly antlers that even grizzlies fear. But the following rare and shocking footage, captured by Thomas Reed on his way home from work in a remote part of northern Ontario, Canada, will show you a different reality. As the car's headlights swept across the forest edge, Thomas had to slam on the brakes before a chaotic scene. A mature bull moose, weighing nearly half a ton, was frantically attacking an upright creature. Look closely at its opponent. That is not a bear. This mysterious creature possesses superior height, covered in jet black fur. Instead of using claws or teeth to tear like a common beast, it is using long arms and rippling muscles to grip the moose's massive antlers tight. When the video was released, many skeptics claimed this was a black bear standing on two legs. However, veteran hunters immediately countered. Bears do not have the opposable thumbs required to lock a prey's antlers, nor would they risk a head-on strength contest like that. The way this creature is neutralizing the moose suggests the combat intelligence of a higher primate. In the end, did Thomas witness a survival battle between a bear and a moose, or did he accidentally record a Bigfoot fighting the king of the north? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The treetop predator of Olympic National Forest. This haunting footage from David Keller, an amateur climber in Olympic National Forest, Washington, might make you realize that the real danger sometimes comes from above. The video starts out quite shaky, but suddenly the lens freezes and points straight up into the towering ancient trees. Hidden among the dense branches is a giant creature clinging tightly to the trunk. It's not a black bear nor a cougar. This creature possesses a massive frame with dark brown fur, thick and matted like moss. It doesn't climb clumsily. It is standing on a large branch, looking down with an unnerving stillness. The moment David shared this, the internet exploded with debate. Skeptics laughed. It's just a cheap stuffed costume. They argued no one is crazy enough to believe a giant gorilla lives in trees in America, but believers pointed out physical details that are impossible to fake. Look closely at the moment the creature shifts its weight. The brush and dry leaves fall to the ground in sync with its breathing. A stuffed suit cannot create gravity and environmental interaction that realistic. The deep forest always holds mysteries untouched by man. Did David encounter a real Bigfoot, or is this an elaborate prank? Look at how the tree shakes and give me your verdict in the comments. The rage of the stalked. This footage, recorded at an undisclosed secret location, begins as a standard night vision shot, but the ending will send shivers down your spine. Initially, the grainy black and white frame captures only a massive shadow, walking heavily, back turned to the camera. Everything seems normal until the third second. Suddenly, the creature freezes. It seems to sense something unnatural. Perhaps the infrared light or the faint electronic hum of the modern camera. Slowly, it turns around. And this is the moment that terrifies viewers. The face that appears before the lens is an insane hybrid defying every biology textbook. It's not quite animal, but not quite human. A protruding brow ridge, deep-set hollow eyes containing a furious glare, along with a flat nose and a jutting jaw that screams of something primal. It doesn't run away. It approaches, bringing its face right up to the lens and roaring in rage. That is not the panicked cry of a startled animal, but a communicative act, a deliberate threat aimed straight at the electronic eye watching it. Biologists viewing this tape have been unable to offer a reasonable explanation for that behavior and facial structure. The silence from experts only deepens the mystery. Are we watching a pinnacle of makeup effects with terrifyingly realistic acting? Or is this truly the moment a Bigfoot detected a human intrusion and sent a steely warning? Stay away from my territory. Look straight into those eyes and tell me what you feel. Civil War of the Giants. Leaked from a nameless forest, this footage contains not just images of monsters, but a rare event. A civil war of giants. At first, the black and white frame is dominated by a looming shadow. Preliminary ratio analysis estimates this creature to be nearly 8 feet tall, a size far exceeding any bear or primate. The moment it turns and roars, viewers are frozen in shock. That face is a living nightmare, a crazy, distorted hybrid between the brutality of an ape and the facial bone structure of a human, an appearance inexplicable by modern science. But the real horror is just beginning. As soon as the roar fades, a second black shadow suddenly launches from the darkness like a missile. Boom! Two massive bodies collide with a force that shakes the ground, kicking up dust. After a brutal struggle, the smaller creature is overwhelmed and forced to flee into the deep woods in pain. The movement of muscle groups under the fur, the weight behind every impact, is too realistic. But because it is so cinematic, so brutal, many suspect this is a product of high-end CGI. Are we admiring a masterpiece of visual effects, or have we accidentally witnessed a savage territorial dispute between the uncrowned kings of the jungle? Look closely at that impact and leave your verdict. The uncannily human face of a mysterious creature. Winter in the mountains of Montana is so harsh it can break the will of the most resilient creatures. The following security camera footage from the Miller family farm is terrifying proof of that desperation. Amidst the freezing, sub-zero night, a massive black shadow looms on the white snow, creating a gruesome contrast. Its entire body is covered in jet black fur, thick and dense to withstand the cold. It doesn't walk on all fours like a bear or wolf, but stands tall, hiding behind a massive tree trunk, eyes fixed on the farmhouse. The moment it inadvertently looks into the camera, viewers are paralyzed. It is a haunting, hybrid visage that science has yet to name. High brow, thick bone ridges shading deep eyes, a flat, wide nose, and a jaw jutting out with primal ferocity. But ignore the fur, ignore the muscles. Look at its eyes. That is what chills us to the bone. Not cloudy and soulless, those eyes shine with an intelligence and wariness that is very human. It darts its eyes around constantly, observing every blind spot, every light, like a professional thief casing a house, not the reflex of a wild beast. However, the detail, so perfect, of the eyes and facial expressions has led skeptics to question, is there a costume sophisticated enough to replicate that calculating gaze? Or are we truly seeing a starving Bigfoot gambling its life for a meal? Watch and decide for yourself. Dark shadow, gliding over the snow in Banff National Park. This shocking video was recorded in the wild mountains of Banff, Canada, last winter. Amidst the cold, white, silent landscape, a giant black shadow appears, cutting across the cameraman's field of view. Pay attention to two bizarre anatomical features that immediately strike the viewer. First, the jet black fur covering the entire body, creating a stark contrast against the snow. Second, and most terrifying, are the arms, absurdly long, dangling down past the knees. A biological trait characteristic of ancient apes that modern humans do not possess. What makes motion analysis experts get goosebumps is the way it moves. With a massive body estimated to weigh hundreds of pounds, it should sink deep into the snow. But no, this creature walks with long, decisive, and light strides. Skeptics immediately spoke up. It's just a man in a clever costume. They argue that no creature that large could evade humans for so long. But believers retort firmly, look at the arm length and body proportions. If it were a human, the torso would be longer, and the gait would be lumbering and clumsy, not gliding with powerful grace like a tank made of meat. Look at those weightless strides and tell me, is that human skill or animal instinct? Massive Bigfoot emerges from the shadows. We set camera traps in the deep woods, hoping to capture the most natural moments of the wild world without human presence. But sometimes, what we get is not peace, but a true nightmare. There are things that exist outside the laws of nature, and they do not like being filmed. In the grainy, noisy black and white frame, a giant creature is slowly moving across a dry creek bed. Based on the scale of the surrounding trees, experts estimate it stands 7 feet tall. But the most notable thing is its gait. The back is hunched, bent low heavily, with 2 arms dangling down to its knees. As it gets closer to the camera, the nightmare truly takes shape. That face is a grotesque mistake of creation. A high forehead obscuring black hole eyes, a flat nose pressed against a wide philtrum, and a jaw squared off in primal fashion. The video cuts out exactly at the moment the creature stares directly into the lens. The strange thing is, to date, there are no ranger reports, no zoological records, and absolutely no coordinates for the location of this camera released. No origin, no trace. Why does the end of the video vanish? Or did someone intentionally cut the aftermath to hide a more horrifying truth? The terrifying battle between Bigfoot and a bear. The following footage, filmed by an anonymous angler on the wild Kenai River in Alaska, is not your average documentary clip, but a battle between wilderness kings. It starts with the shaky lens capturing a giant bipedal creature wading through the rushing stream. Suddenly, the water explodes. A massive grizzly bear launches from the brush, executing a deadly ambush from behind. But the script we expected did not play out. The mysterious creature showed no panic. With lightning-fast reflexes, it spun around, using rippling muscles to grapple the bear. The scene that followed made viewers hold their breath. The creature dominated, using pure physical strength to pin the bear's head down into the freezing water. The video ends immediately after. Strangely, the fisherman who posted this video has remained completely silent. No interviews, no face reveal. He vanished as if terrified of what he captured. Skeptics insist that this is sophisticated CGI, as no creature could take down a grizzly so easily. But believers shudder. Those movements are too fluid to be special effects. In your opinion, is that overwhelming strength real or fake? Are we watching a VFX product or proof that the grizzly is not the strongest in the forest? Watch that takedown closely and leave your trust percentage, 0-100%, in the comments. The giant walking in broad daylight. Footage from Mark and Sarah's weekend camping trip in Sequoia National Forest will show you a completely different side of Bigfoot. The video begins with the appearance of a giant creature casually walking in a broad daylight. Look at its size as it passes the trees. Subsequent ratio analysis estimates this creature to be nearly 9 feet tall, a true giant. What gives viewers goosebumps is not the thick fur, but the gait. It doesn't hunch like an ape, nor does it waddle like a bear. It walks upright, leisurely and rhythmically, exactly like a human taking a stroll in their own backyard. The moment it headed straight for the front of the car, the couple held their breath, bracing for the windshield to be smashed. But no. The creature glided past the car, not even deigning to glance at the 2 trembling humans inside. It walked as if they were invisible, as if the presence of humans and technology was not enough of a threat to concern it. Immediately after, Mark and Sarah canceled their trip and reported the incident to the nearest ranger station. However, the attitude of the officials is what's worth discussing. They coldly dismissed the video, stating firmly, "No creature matching this description exists in the area." Why did the rangers deny it so quickly without an investigation? Is this video and the couple's story real, or just a clickbait stunt? Bigfoot blocks the hiker's path. This short but haunting video, author unknown, location unknown, captures the moment a man accidentally stepped over the line and paid the price with a run for his life. Everything happens too fast. As the man is filming the peaceful scenery while walking, he suddenly bumps into it. A giant black shadow stands towering, taking up the entire width of the trail. The creature is like a wall of meat covered in black fur, blocking out all light from behind. As the cameraman screams in panic and turns to run, the violently shaking camera manages to capture one last moment. The creature does not stand still. It prepares to pursue its prey. The video cuts to black right there. No one knows the fate of the man, and strangely, there are no missing person files or police reports matching this event. It is this mystery that ignited a wave of fierce debate. Skeptics point out a fatal detail. Look at the moment it moves to chase. Its gait and posture look very forced, stiff, and unnatural. They argue this is just a malicious prank, and the person in the animal suit had trouble moving in the bulky costume, making the movements look like a glitchy puppet. And you, what do you see? A cheap prank with amateur actors, or a real monster hunting with alien movements? Leave your verdict right below. Bigfoot attacks humans. The following two videos, recorded at Marble Mountain Wilderness and a deserted road in Blackwood, will force you to ask yourself, what would you do if you saw a fellow human being attacked? Help or run? The first footage comes from a young couple's camping trip. The chaotic scene begins as the trembling lens points toward the forest edge. There, a man is being violently attacked. The attacker is not a bear, but an upright, massive, and aggressive creature. Look at how it uses overwhelming muscular strength to lift the man up and slam him into the ground like a toy. No one dares to step in, fearing they will become the next target. The nightmare doesn't stop there. The second footage from a dashcam captures a man standing next to an ancient tree by the road, frantically waving his hand and screaming, "Help me!" At first glance, he seems to have his hand stuck. But when zoomed in, viewers realize the chilling truth. He is not stuck. There is a long, hairy arm reaching out from behind the tree trunk, wrapping around his chest and pinning him tight. The strange thing is that to date, there are no police records of these two attacks. Who were these victims? Did they escape or disappear forever? The brutality in the video is too realistic, but because it is so terrifying, many believe these are just elaborately staged horror shorts. What do you think? Is this peak acting or grim reality being covered up? Leave your verdict after witnessing the devastating power of that Kenai River takedown and the chillingly intelligent gaze of the creature at the winter farm. Whose side are you on? Are these clips exposing a species hidden from the world? Or is this all just the most sophisticated hoax of the century? I want to hear from you. Drop your theories in the comments below. We'll be pinning the most compelling ones. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this video. And make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell right now. Because in the next video, I'll be revealing strange audio recordings believed to be Bigfoot howls. You do not want to miss that. Goodbye.